Hi, Divine Souls. I'm truly grateful you're here with me in Oriah Divine Sanctuary, a space dedicated to healing, awareness, and spiritual alignment. If this video has appeared in your life today, trust that there may be a message here meant specifically for you. If the words shared here resonate with your spirit, I encourage you to like, share, comment, and subscribe so we can continue building a community centered around truth, healing, and higher consciousness. Earlier today, during meditation, I allowed myself to slow down, to breathe, and to simply be present. And in that quiet space, I began to tune into the energetic frequency of the collective, sensing what many people may be navigating on their spiritual journeys right now. And from that awareness, this message emerged. Many people think people pleasing, anxiety, and self doubt IT are separate problems, but often they all grow from the same root, a fear that somewhere along the way you learned your worth, safety, or belonging depended on other people's approval. As children, we adapt to our environment. If you grew up in a home where love felt conditional, you may have learned to earn affection through performance. If conflict felt dangerous, you may have learned to keep the peace at all costs. If you were criticized frequently, you may have learned to question yourself before anyone else could. If your emotional needs were ignored, you may have learned that other people's needs mattered more than your own. These adaptations helped you survive. They were intelligent responses to difficult circumstances, but what protected you then can begin limiting you now. Psychologically, people pleasing often develops when a child learns that maintaining connection is more important than expressing authenticity. Instead of asking, "What do I want?" you learn to ask, "What will make everyone else happy?" Over time, this creates anxiety because you're constantly monitoring other people's moods, reactions, and expectations. You become hyper aware of conflict, hyper aware of criticism, hyper aware of rejection, and eventually self doubt follows because when you're trained to prioritize external approval, you stop trusting your own voice. You look outside yourself for answers, outside yourself for validation, outside yourself for permission. So, how do you identify whether this pattern is affecting your life? Ask yourself these questions. Signs of people pleasing. Do you struggle to say no? Do you feel responsible for other people's emotions? Do you avoid conflict even when something feels wrong? Do you over explain your decisions? Do you apologize excessively? Signs of anxiety rooted in approval. Seeking. Do you replay conversations in your mind? Do you worry excessively about what people think of you? Do you fear disappointing others? Do you feel uneasy when someone is upset with you? Signs of self doubt. Do you second guess your decisions? Do you seek constant reassurance? Do you trust others' opinions more than your own? Do you struggle to recognize your own strengths? If several of these resonate, you may be responding from a survival pattern rather than your authentic self. Spiritually, this pattern can also disconnect you from the identity God intended for you, because instead of seeking guidance from God and trusting the wisdom He placed within you, you become consumed with managing other people's perceptions. The Word of God reminds us, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." 2 Timothy 1:7. Notice what fear does. Fear focuses on external approval. Faith helps us live from internal conviction. Healing begins when you realize that not everyone has to approve of your choices for them to be right for you. You can disappoint people and still be a good person. You can set boundaries and still be loving. You can have needs and still be worthy. You can say no and still deserve connection. One of the most powerful questions you can start asking yourself is, what would I choose if I weren't afraid of disappointing anyone? That question often reveals the voice you've spent years silencing, because beneath the people pleasing, beneath the anxiety, beneath the self doubt, there is a version of you that already knows who you are, a version that doesn't need constant approval, a version that trusts its own wisdom, a version that God has been nurturing all along. And healing is not about becoming someone else, it's about finally giving that version of yourself permission to lead. I would like to close with this affirmation. Please repeat silently or out loud. Or, I release the need to earn love through self sacrifice. I trust my voice, honor my needs, and value my feelings. God has given me wisdom, strength, and a sound mind. I am learning to choose authenticity over approval and peace over people pleasing. Divine souls, thank you for stepping into Oriah Divine's sanctuary. This space exists to support your healing, elevate your awareness, and guide you through the sacred process of personal transformation. Here you are safe to grow spiritually, emotionally, and authentically. And it is truly an honor to share this journey with you. Always remember, awareness begins the healing, but your transformation begins the moment you choose to honor your voice. Until we meet again, continue walking in truth, protecting your peace, and letting your divine light shine.